Welcome to Kay's Perfect Fitness TV. Today I have a Pilates challenge for strong abs, slim legs, and a perky booty. So let's get ready to go. We'll be starting in our Pilates push-up position. So bring your shoulders over your palms and drop your hips forward so you're in a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. We're taking our tricep push-up, going down for 2 and up for 2. Breathe in as you go down and exhale as you come up. Now tuck your toes and push your hips up to the sky. Bend one knee and then the other. From your downward dog position, we're going to articulate through the spine, releasing your upper back, your middle back, and then your lower back, flowing through your spine like a wave. Now drop your knees down to the floor and come into 4-point kneeling. We're going to be going from cat to cow. Take an exhale and drop your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under and round through your spine. Inhale to release and look forward. And release back to neutral. We're now going to lie all the way down on your mat. Getting ready for your roll up, we're going to extend your arms and legs. Flex your feet and reach your arms up the sky. Exhale, curl yourself forward, peeling your spine off the mat, reaching over your toes and looking through your knees. And then we tuck our tailbone under, scoop, tuck, and roll yourself all the way back down to the mat. And repeat. Inhale the arms up to the sky, exhale, curl yourself forward, reach forward, look through your knees, and tuck your tailbone under, scoop, tuck, roll yourself all the way back down to the floor. And roll yourself all the way up to a seated position. We're going to bend our knees and place our feet flat on the mat. Reaching your arms forward, we'll be going into our obliques rollback. As you tuck the tailbone under, you're going to scoop one arm down and back and come up to a high seated position on your sit bones. Scoop, tuck, roll back, sweep the arm, and come back up to a high seated position. And release your arms down. We're now going to cross our legs and come to a seated position. Arms reaching forward. Coming into our spine twist, we'll be doing a bow and arrow. Bend one elbow back and draw your shoulder blade flat along the back of your rib cage. Really strengthening through your spine, through your back and your postural muscles. Squeeze through the shoulder blades, keeping your shoulders down. Be sure to be sitting up tall on your sit bones. And release. We're now going to come back down to the mat. Lying down with your feet flat on the mat, I want you to draw your bottom ribs to your hips. Exhale and gently press your lower back into the mat to find your imprint. You lift one leg and then the other. We're going into our heel tap, so flex your feet and reach one thigh away and back up. One thigh away and back up. Make sure you're gently pressing your lower back into the mat and no arching through your pelvis. We're now going into our opposite hand-to-foot reach. So this is your dead bug. You want to make sure that the rib cage does not pop open as you reach one arm overhead. So keep your rib cage tight and closed. Now take the arms out to the side, knees are glued together. We're taking the knees over to one side and then back up to center. Inhale the legs over to one side, breathe, and exhale the legs back up to center. Inhale the legs over, exhale to bring them back up. Really have to use your obliques to control this movement and instigate the movement to bring the knees back up to center. Great, now we're going to take it into our ab prep. So take your hands behind your head, curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, and going into our single leg stretch. And now adding the arm reach as well. Follow the arms with the legs, keeping your pelvis still. Now going into our double leg stretch. Bend the knees in and circle your arms around as the legs extend out. It's like you're taking off a top hat and then circling your arms around. Hug it in and release it down. Now we're going to keep one leg in tabletop and extend the other leg up and long in a diagonal line. We're going into our obliques twist. So twist your opposite shoulder towards your knee and start to lower the extended leg down and up. Make sure you hold that twist through your torso. Just the leg is moving. And release it. Keep this position with your legs. See how my ankle is glued to my opposite knee. And we're going into our tailbone lifts. Tiny little reverse curls. You can either stay here or take it into your full rollover. Exhale, curl your tailbone off the floor, going to your shoulder blades, reaching the leg overhead, and slowly roll yourself back down to the mat, and then lower the leg long to feel that contraction through your abs. Rolling yourself up and slowly rolling yourself down. Now we're taking it into our scissors. So extend your bent leg and taking your stacked scissors, lifting the legs together. Up an inch and down an inch, up an inch and down an inch, staying still in your upper body. And now into our moving scissors. Good, now grab the opposite knee and release lower down. Hug that knee in. Hands come behind your head. Now we extend the opposite leg up to the ceiling and slowly lower it down onto a long diagonal line. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat and twist your opposite shoulder to your bent knee. Now we start moving the leg again, lowering it down and up, down and up, really working into your obliques. Square it off, release, lower it down. We're now taking the rollover prep, keeping your ankle glued to your knee. Exhale, curl your tailbone off the mat. You can either stay here or get ready for your full rollover, peeling your hips off the floor, rolling your spine off the mat to your shoulder blades, taking the legs overhead. And with control, you slowly lower your hips back down to the mat. Releasing one vertebrae at a time. Now extend your bent knee up to the sky, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, and we take our stacked scissors, lifting our legs up an inch and down an inch, up an inch and down an inch. Make this movement tiny. Right now, bend your knees and place your feet down on the mat. Now shifting gears into our glutes. So we're going into our glute bridge. Press your heels through the mat, make sure they're in line with your sit bones, and lift your hips. Up and down, up and down. Make sure you're squeezing into your hamstrings and your glutes each time you pick your hips up. Now I want you to hold your hips up. Lift one leg up to the sky. We're going to flex and lower the leg, point and lift it. Flex and lower, point and lift. Flex and lower, point and lift. Keep your hips up and little pulses. Up, 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 up. And release that leg down. Let's change legs. Point the other leg up to the sky. Flex and lower, point and lift. Flex and lower, point and lift. And little tiny pulses up to the sky. And release the leg down. Good job. We're going to hold it here for a split second and release your hips all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest and slowly roll yourself up. We're going to flip ourselves around and lie on your stomach with your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going into our breaststroke. I want you to dive forward, circling the arms forward and around to your hips. As you circle the arms around, just lift your chest off the mat, but keep looking down at the mat. Feel like you're in a long dart position as you dive forward. Now going into our leg lifts. Keep your head on the mat, press your tailbone into the mat as well, and lift both legs. Up and down, up and down, really working into your lower back and your glutes. Now we're going into our swimmer. Extend both legs and lift the opposite arm to leg. You can stay at a slow tempo or you can go at flow and swim through the air. Now reach the arms and legs long, stretch it out, and release, lower it down. Great, now push your hips back onto your heels, find your shell stretch, and take an active recovery. Good job. Now we're going into our mermaids. So sit on your side with your heels underneath your hips and your knees forward. You're going to press one palm through the floor and lift the opposite arm up and overhead. Take it into your side bend mermaid stretch. Lifting the hips and squeezing into the obliques. Now we're going to extend the top leg long. We're going to lift again, balancing on the bottom knee. And we're going to lift the top leg up and down, up and down. This move is amazing for your outer thighs. Now we're going into our leg swings. Forward, forward, and back. Forward, forward, and back. Flex forward and point back. Flex forward, point back. Flex forward, point back. And now we're going into our bicycle, circling the leg around. And reverse it. Now take little tiny circles with the leg, up and around, up and around. And reverse it. Now stretch it out and release, lower it down. Great, let's change sides. Make sure your heels are under your hips. You're going to press through your supporting palm and press your hips off the floor, balancing on your knees and taking your side bend mermaid stretch. And release, lower it down. Again, going into our glute work, extend the top leg. Make sure you're pressing through your bottom palm and your knee. We're lifting the top leg up and down, up and down. Now we're taking 2 pulses forward and 1 swing back. Flex forward and point back. Flex forward, point back. Flex forward, point back. And going into your bicycle, circling the leg around, keeping your upper body as still as you can. And reverse your bicycle. And going into tiny little leg circles. And reverse your circle. Get ready to hold, reach it out a little bit longer, and release, lower it down. Fantastic work, you guys. Come back to a seated shell position. Drop your hips to your heels and extend your arms long on the mat. Scoop your abs in and up and try to reach your middle back up to the sky. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly release, and you're done. Well done, you guys. You did a fantastic job today. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I can't wait to see you on my next workout.